unpaid internships. Our first key finding that we got is that in 2023, over 55% converted into full-time jobs after graduating. Another key we got is that 56% of the students who got internships in general got opportunities and jobs after graduation. This goes to show that internships are really a leveraging tool when students want to get opportunities after graduation. We also came across the fact that 60% of internships are paid, offering a fair opportunity to gain experience in a financial strait. What this fact that showed to us is that when a student has got financial backing, or when a student has got financial backing in his place, it is easy for them to perform well in their studies. It is easy for them to perform well because they've got financial backing. And also we noticed that there's income disparities due to unpaid internships. Through our research, we noticed that most of the students who are coming from high-income households, they can manage to go to any internships, whether paid or unpaid, because they've got the resources. But students from low-income households cannot afford to do that because they would have a lot of costs to incur during the inception of the internships. We also noticed that in unpaid internships, most of them they are in social services in non-profit organizations, as I've mentioned. Most students from low-income households, they cannot afford to go to unpaid internships because of a lot of costs that may incur. We also noticed that 6.6% of Black graduating students had internship, and 6% of those had paid internships. This just goes to show us as a student affairs professionals that we have to advocate for all our students, because such a small margin of Black students are the only ones who got internships. And as I've shared initially, just getting a small percentage of students getting internships, it gives them a leverage and gives them advantage when they want to look for opportunities and jobs after graduating. I'm going to be taking you through the barriers to internship access. Financial constraints. Low-income students face internship barriers due to cost, transportation, relocation expenses, as I have just said. I can also give an example, like in my case, as an international student. During the summer, I wanted to look for an internship, and I had several interviews, and I go to some places, and some places I didn't get. But the reason that actually made me not to go to some of the places that I wanted is because of financial constraints. There are transport costs that are involved, there are relocation costs that are involved, and there are a lot of costs that are involved in relocating for internships. That was a huge constraint for me, which is why we are also advocating that institutions should also help and be able for low or marginalized students, or students from low-income households, for them to get internships, which will benefit them at the end of their graduation. There is also high disparities between mid and household wealth. As I have said, a student from low-income household has got a lot of costs and has got a lot of disadvantages with them, which means a student from high-income household, they can get any internship because they've got financial muscle to acquire internship that they might want. Relocation expenses and the opportunity cost of unpaid internships. As I have said, a lot of costs are associated with low-income students, which will make them not go for certain opportunities, and which can make them not even have the motivation and the inspiration to apply, because they would need that financial in the long-term impact. As we have said, after graduating, 56% of all students that graduate who have gone for internships are getting opportunities, which means if a student does not go to an internship during the course of their study, the long-term impacts of them are so dangerous that they may not get employed. Give me to Abel now to take us through the case. A quick
glance at what UVM is doing, and as I said earlier, this was just as a result of some of the assignments we did in class and our inability to get an internship because there was not available. So we were just curious to look at what's happening in the institution and what's also happening elsewhere. So our focus here is on UVM. And one thing we observed is that UVM doesn't have a centralized effort for internship access. But we see that different colleges in the institution have programs, initiatives that they put together to see how their students have access. We have we have Grossman Business School, Rubinstein School, College of Art, and so we see dockets of efforts like that coming together to make internship more accessible. And one of the programs that we saw, or that we discovered that is so much predominant in the institution, is connected to the Career Center. And the goal is to actually bridge accessibility gap, especially the one happening between first generation student, low income student, and the minoritized student. And the goal is also to facilitate career development and make resources available, because we discovered that most students that are not getting internship is also linked to them not having the right resources and information. So I'm going to pass it back to Sheriff to take us through some initiative which we call the Equity in Internship Initiative by the Career Center.
Yeah, thank you once again. Taco and I had an opportunity to do a practical at the Career Center, and the project, the initiative is the Equity in Internship Initiative at the Career Center. Just like Abel had been able to identify, the Career Center put up this initiative to be able to bridge that accessibility gap in internship access to students. And first one there is the summer internship scholarship, which the Career Center is offering up to $4,000 for students holding marginalized identity, or generally UVM students, to be able to, probably you have an internship opportunity, but it is unpaid. So you have an opportunity to apply for these 4,000 scholarships, and or it is not well paid. You can actually apply to get up to $4,000 as a student of UVM. Another important effort by the Career Center Equity in Internship Initiative is to organize signature events and job fairs, to give access, wherever they provide opportunity and avenue for students to connect with employers and organizations, to expose students to opportunities, internship opportunities for them to be able to secure beneficial internship opportunities. They offer customized and career counseling mentorship programs to be able to expose students to skills such as interview skills, to be able to address their specific challenges and needs in terms of, hosting workshops, for how to build or craft a compelling resume, prepare them for interview, how to base their interview, and at the same time, showcasing relevant experience, helping them identify relevant experience that would make them to pass interview. So another important area to look at is the technology, using of technology to bridge accessibility gaps. And here I'm going to be talking about the UVM Connect. The UVM Connect is a special applications, that students have probably on their phone to be able to have access to alumni, staff, faculty, to have access to that mentorship and networking opportunities. I was able to secure my practicum experience at the Center for Student Conduct through the UVM Connect, because I was able to connect with an alum of the University of Vermont that is working at the Center for Career, the Center for Student Conduct at the University of Vermont. And we had an opportunity to discuss, and he gave me the opportunity to come and work at that very particular place. And another important thing that the UVM Connect has is it has that opportunity of students having access to shadow, with professionals who are already doing their work. And with this, they are able to gain relevant experience and be able to see how they can blend their theory and practice together, and how to be able to concentrate on whatever skills that are required of them to be able to make a benefiting impact upon the completion of their program. Another important app has to do with Handshake. Handshake is not only related to UVM. Handshake is an application that most of the institutions are using. But the significance of this is because students are able to connect to opportunities on Handshake, and apply for internship opportunities to be able to secure that benefiting internship that will make them career ready for the future. So at the same time, we have what we call the Colleges and Career Center Initiative. There is internship coordinator networks, whereby there is internship coordinator in each of the colleges and schools, and they come together every at the end of the month with the intern coordinator at the career center to discuss internship opportunities that are available across the US and make that open to students to be able to apply for most of these internship opportunities. At the same time, they meet monthly with other internship coordinators. And Brightspace, there are tons of resources available for students in terms of video, in terms of how to build resume, how to ace their interview. Most of these resources are housed on the Brightspace for students to connect and prepare them for internship opportunities. So yeah, I'm going to pass it to Tapu to take us through the partnership and collaboration with local communities, which is the Lay Institute that we have at the University of Ghana.
Thank you so much, Sharif. As Sharif has just stated, I'll be taking you through the partnership and collaboration with local communities that UVM is doing. And today, I'm also going to focus on the Lay Institute. The Lay Institute is a foundation or is an initiative that was inspired by Senator Patrick Lay, who was the Vermont Senator for 13 years ago till 2023. And this foundation is just aimed to help rural citizens of Vermont through the funding of the USAID. So the Lay Institute basically is also collaborated with the University of Vermont to assist students from underrepresented marginalized groups in building relationships with employers. Through its funding, it has helped students to create paid internship opportunities. A lot of students, as I have said, they come from backgrounds which they don't have a lot of financial backing. So for them to get opportunities, the UVM to create with employers, and also to help with employee engagement in diversity initiatives. This is another initiative that the Lay Foundation has done just to help the University of Vermont students to connect with the diversity initiatives since 2023. Engaging in local organizations and communities. It's another initiative that the Lay Foundation has done to leverage the community resources for all those students who do not have the resources, who do not have the opportunities. This foundation has helped internships to plan to connect them with local communities and also connect them with alumni. Most international students and most students from underrepresented groups may not have this cushion or this ability to connect with them. The Lay Foundation also stepped in to help students to connect with their alumni for networking opportunities for their internships after graduation. During workshops and trainings, it has also stepped up to assist a lot of students from marginalized groups to collaborate with skill development, trainings, workshops, skills building, whatever it may be for them to be marketable when they graduate. This is another initiative in industry-specific projects and internships. Majority of the time, I can give an example for myself as an international student going in and graduating. I may not have enough skill and enough knowledge of what I might want to do. So the Lay Foundation stepped in to give industry-specific projects through the internships to teach and learn what you might do and what may make you marketable when you graduate and get opportunities afterwards. So I'm passing on to Abel to go to the next session.
Thank you, Tapu, and thank you everyone for paying attention to our presentation. We appreciate it so much. We are so excited about all these things that we've highlighted that UVM doing through different colleges and through the career center. We believe that we can do more and there's more to be done. And we just want to talk a bit. And the reason we picked the Lay Institute amongst different efforts we saw was because it was more centralized here in Vermont, focused on integrating with the rural community to see what can be done to help the rural community. So a pilot study was done in 2023 where about 11 students were gotten for the internship, and They went to the Chittenden County, did some work. In fact, that was when the flooding situation happened in Vermont, and it was so bad, but they were able to contribute to the community with their service, and it was really a great one. And it was repeated again this 2024, and a lot of students were able to attend. Well, not a lot, 11 were able to attend, and one of the catch for them that made the number increase was the fact that they got paid, they were housing, and they also got transportation, because those are like the key things that make students not want to really go for internship because of the cost involved. And we're excited that the Grossman Business School is also bringing up this co-op model that will be launched in 2025 or 4. And we see that these are beautiful initiative, but we feel that there's still more to be done. So the goal of this presentation once more is not just to present to you a perfect internship in our institution, but to also learn from you all coming from different institutions that you came from, to see what more can be done and what you're actually doing at your institution that we can take home. So we'll be having a brief discussion. I think we have sufficient time, like 15 minutes or thereabout, to just discuss and we'll share out. And the first prompt for our discussion is, what programs or practices exist at your institution to ensure equitable internship access for the represented student, and what are the successes, challenges, and insights that your institution has encountered in addressing internship accessibility disparity. So feel free to just discuss with somebody beside you. We have about 10 minutes for that to just discuss this and we'll share out after.
You want to discuss?
No dog? Yeah, do it.
Wow, okay,
So what is your institution?
Previous institution.
So in Calfit Fullerton, a lot of undergrad programs actually require an internship or practicum experience with majors. So that is one of the ways.
Requirement?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a requirement. Yeah, and
It's
so
not required.
no. So at Cal State Fullerton is required to do one internship in specific programs. I know business had it, human services program had it, anthropology program did not have it.
Education almost always has it.
Yeah.
Education? Oh.
Yeah, and so that was like one of the practices that I think really helped students, because a lot of the time I feel like if certain internships aren't required, it's kind of just like, oh, do that, you know, if you have time, which no student has time. But like making it a requirement, I think, does help students realize that it is like really necessary.
Like look at the Northeastern
Yeah.
That is by far the largest.
Because when it's a requirement, that also means there's like people that will support you.
Yeah. It is even embedded in the
Have to do
curriculum.
it. That's what.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Because like, so when I started doing biology, I wanted an internship, but it wasn't a requirement, and like research is really scary to get into. So like some people would get into that and some wouldn't, and it definitely had to do with privilege. Like some people had those connections and couldn't easily get in, and some like never heard of those opportunities. And so the people that were already like advantaged get internship after internship and all their experience, and then these other students that didn't have a way in just didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult situation. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, with education, they require almost always to teach in a classroom when it's like your internship, but
Yeah.
I think it's really difficult and it can be super inaccessible, because that is a whole semester that they teach in the classroom as if they're a full-time teacher.
Yeah.
It's over 40 hours a week because teaching is difficult, and they don't get paid. And so like, how do you afford your apartment?
you don't get
afford your
paid.
car, your food, and you don't get paid. You're working over 40 hours a week. So how do you even get a better job?
Yeah.
Exactly. So education is really difficult like place to have
So,
an internship.
so students are not motivated for that internship.
But you have to, so it's just.
Oh, and you have to.
You have to.
Yeah, I think
Almost all education.
it's the same with us because I went to a teacher's college
Yeah.
and it's compulsory. But one thing my college did that was different was that every year they make schools apply for mentees, students who come for like teaching practice, and then as part of the requirement to be approved, the school needs to be able to provide accommodation for the students they bring to them. So even though you are not paid, you don't have to worry about accommodation because the school provides that, and it's compulsory because you get credits for that, whether you like it or not. You have to. So the only disadvantage with that part is that you don't get paid, but they make sure you have accommodation. But some schools, I know of some friends of mine who were in other colleges who didn't make sure their students had that. They just dropped them off and that's it.
School by school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely depends on your school.
I think it also depends on your program coordinator and how they have structured their systems. So.
Yeah, and like honestly, I just remember like the Career Center really helped students find those required internships and jobs because I mean it was required.
They're doing a great job.
And like I know UVM's Career Center is like severely underutilized, but I think that's one of the reasons why, right? Because it's not required.
I should have connected with someone, I forget her name, but I met her at the first gen session. So yeah, I was talking about you.
No. Then yeah.
Oh, I forget. I don't even remember what she looked like.
White?
She was sitting, she was white.
White?
Yeah. Like, older, like not old, but a little older.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
curly
Kristen.
hair?
That's Kristen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's Kristen. See?
That was cool. I got to connect with her.
Yeah. So I think another thing that Kristen mentioned was that most of these, if they are to do internship, it is first not mandatory. Second, they will have to pay, for that credit. So, and if I'm going to be paid, I'm not going to be paid.
How does that make sense?
How does that make
Exactly.
sense? So a lot of students are actually running away from doing internship when they have a lucrative job to do back home that will fetch them money.
Exactly.
They have a lot of debt, in the form of tuition and all that thing. So I don't think anyone will be motivated to go for an internship.
Yeah, and then it gets difficult, like, you're not working in your field, because you're not getting paid, but then you don't have experience in your field, so post-grad,
And that is the impact of it. We're not doing it. The likelihood is that you might not get a good job
Exactly.
upon graduating. So I think that's why institutions would have to put in more effort, and that is why we said the University of Vermont, there is no institutional-wide effort at providing. What we see is just pockets of opportunities from offices, from department, trying to make effort to connect students to education.
Yeah, I think it's also hard because I mean students have a lot on their plate, so adding that additional application, cover letter is just like a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like like for example, like for my students I do encourage them to do internships, but it's like there's only so much I can do or say to actually get them to do it. So it's just
I think this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of juniors and seniors are the ones doing internships, or that should be, but they have to pay rent, they have to like pay for all these things, so without making an income, like anything.
I think that is why the Lay Institute makes sense, in the sense that they're trying to see how can we connect students to local communities, to rural communities, and what they could do was to okay, let us give you stipend, let us give you accommodation, and let us provide you transport, which really makes a whole lot of sense.
the Leahy Institute remind me, it's like environmental.
Yeah, exactly. So that is why Abel was talking about the flooding issue that happened with them. So students were deployed to.
Where is it?
I think they have. What department is it?
Or where are you? Where are they on the campus?
On the campus, I don't know where they are. I don't know. But Kristen worked there. Kristen that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Kristen go to work for the Institute and the Career Center.
I don't think I know.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know where they are.
I think looking at the co-op model it's really going to make sense because it's more
I think because they secured
integrated.
about 15 to 20 million dollars.
Yeah, 15 million was gifted to them.
I don't think I met her.
It's really going to make sense.
Oh, that's not who I met.
Oh, that's not who you met?
I think you met the person I know.
Oh, who is the person you met?
Fafa.
How much are you paying? What time did you send? I kind of need to go to office. Okay, I'm gonna use it. Was it this person?
Right now, I don't remember.
Yeah. I just met Lady.
Go back to
Yeah.
He has more.
I feel like it's given her.
Okay, I need to do. Oh.
It's gonna be right to
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that is.
Thank you.
Wrap up, wrap up.
And this is just for the first time, presenting to a different because I'm new before. This is different from your cohort.
All right. Thank you so much for engaging. Anyone who wants to share out from what you all were discussing, please feel free to just raise your hands and you have the floor.
I can go.
Thank you.
So, private institution, Northeastern, state four-year institution, Connecticut, and then community college, Massachusetts. Extremely different perspectives. I mean, Northeastern has been doing co-ops for centuries.
Northeastern University?
Yes.
Great. Yeah.
It's interesting to hear the perspective because now they're on the other end where now they're dealing with the challenges of being an institution that's well known for professional preparation. When you mentioned one of the things we talked about was the students who come in are hyper-focused on professionalism to the expense of really experiencing their academic journey. So it's almost like hyper-focused professionalism vis-a-vis the traditional liberal arts. We sit on the lawn and enjoy our literature classes. So it's interesting to hear his perspective, but then he's also talking about the challenges. The student who goes to Northeastern is coming in with social capital already built. So you have the students who are coming in from high school with internships already done, they have the social capital. And then now it's disadvantaging the students who don't come in because now they're running into a situation where there are more students who need internships, but there are not enough internships. So the students who are coming in with the social capital are getting the good internships. The ones who are coming into Northeastern without the social capital are not getting the internships. So there's that challenge. And then there's UConn where there's students who would like to access the internships, but then there's a challenge of they want to work with someone they know at the institution. So someone else who's coming in to build their career, help them with resume, cover letter, and prep. They're like, I don't know you, and I'm not comfortable working with you. Can you bring me someone who I'm comfortable working with? And so there's that aspect of how does the institution meet the students where they are. For us at Middlesex, we are starting to go the Northeastern route. And now I'm hearing where Northeastern is, I'm like,
They're also having their challenges.
Yes, so we have our challenges, but we are a community college. We have students, exactly what you're talking about, first generation, low income. We want them to participate in a year-long paid internship in biotech, which we find out 12 months, paid internship, in the biotech industry, and then the students are like, 12 months? Paid? Great, but there are no benefits. I'm working at UPS, Starbucks, Amazon, and Target, they're giving me benefits. My family needs those benefits. I am not leaving my benefited position in UPS and Walmart or Target to do a paid internship in my area of study. So I'm like, oh my God, community college, state college, private, it's hard.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's a really interesting perspective to consider what the students really want and the needs they have at hand. Wow. Thank you so much.
I think in following up on that, I think we were discussing how the community that has to do the internship. I'm a professor, I teach, and so I get to see the stories of the students. You know, and there's an underrepresented community of minority students who can't just sign up and do an internship. They can't commit to doing, you know, you have an undocumented student, for as an example, who can't sign up for a wonderful engineering opportunity in the program, and so what do they do? You know, what happens then? And then we talked about the uniqueness of internship are great, and paid internships are better for the students, but sometimes those unpaid internships, students realize they're paying tuition behind that as well. Paying to be in that internship class that is sending them to the job, to do the job without pay. And we talked about transportation, so all of these, like, I mean, you mentioned them in your presentation in terms of obstacles. So there's, in general for me, there's more work to be done to understand how do we get there, right? Like we have the models, we talked about Northeastern, the COA model. It's a fantastic opportunity, but and undocumented, I'm gonna do a presentation later on that talk with students. How do we send that community to have the same equal, equitable opportunity to be trained at this job? When those jobs are gonna ask social security questions, they're gonna ask, you know, a ton of things that they can't, and they won't risk, especially in times that we're living right now.
Thank you so much.
Very different. So she actually, you know, depending on where you are and where the institution is, private or public, we have different challenges.
Thank you so much.
I think for me, I'm really impressed with this diverse opinion coming into play here. Considering the fact that student affairs professionals are looking at a way because of the benefits attached to internship, and at the same time, I'm a kind of a little bit surprised to hear that even the Northeastern University, because Takwa and I presented on Northeastern University last semester against the University of Vermont, and we look at this as look at the Northeastern University as a great model that provide opportunity, but I think it's quite inspiring to even hear from a staff at Northeastern University talking about how there's some other demerits that are attached to even the model at Northeastern University, and I really appreciate this diverse opinion coming to play as we try to navigate what are the best ways to support students in terms of having access to internship opportunities and particularly to prepare them for life after college.
Thank you. Do we have any last share? And we may also be diving into questions if you have questions. So any last shares, questions as we conclude? All right. Thank you so much for your time here. So we believe in conclusion that internships are important, and we still have a lot to do, as we pointed out, to make sure that students are benefiting from it intentionally, and apart from benefiting from it, they have access to it, and it's something that is useful for them as per where they are, meeting them at where they are, because they have different needs that they're attending to. It's funny that we also had that conversation with the internship coordinator, who was also drawing attention to the fact that many students don't want to go for internship because they feel like we have to pay to do this. They would rather go for the summer internship when they are on break, and some of them don't even want to go for that because they have jobs that they get a lot huge payment.
At
So
Amazon.
it's fascinating to hear that. So we believe that this is an ongoing conversation and collaborative effort will eventually be essential to bridging these gaps and fostering an inclusive professional landscape. So thank you so much for your time, attention. We'd like to connect to you. I'd like to get feedback through our email. You can send us an email. How did we do? Some suggestion and things like that. We'd be glad to have that. Thank you so much. That's just the rest of the conference.
Thank you.
So questions, if there are any questions? Okay.
Can I jump?